Welcome all to hrtech's demo hour October 2023 edition, organized by hrtech and powered by RChilli. RChilli is incidentally the trusted partner for parsing, matching, and data enrichment for all the corporations globally. Our singular goal has always been to create a tech-driven and data-centric HR system for driving successful workplace and talent transformation that will enable organizations to grow and HR teams to become strategic business partners. Before jumping into the demo, a quick overview of us. We are a Singapore headquartered HR tech market development and analyst firm. We are set up in 2018 in Singapore, and since then, we have expanded to India and the Middle East to help HR teams identify tech solutions for their business and HR challenges. Application of technology across the employee lifecycle. Technology has revolutionized every phase of the employee lifecycle, enhancing HR processes across the board. From talent planning to acquisition to engagement and development, technology streamlines operations. All about the demo. hrtech embarked on the hrtech demo event series in 2019 to evangelize and promote the use of HR technologies. The event provides a platform for HR technology providers to showcase their high-tech solutions. And the event motto has always only been to showcase demos and not presentations. We have done various demos events focused on specific topics such as leveraging tech for university hiring, R&R for hybrid workforce, conversational AI in HR, and many more. HR tech market trends in talent acquisition. Why do we think we need to have a session on the future of talent acquisition or the emerging technologies to watch out for? The rise of data-driven technology, the rise of data-driven recruitment. With a data-driven approach, we can make the entire process significantly easier, more efficient, and more cost-effective. AI-powered recruitment. AI is being increasingly used in the recruitment process to automate tasks such as resume screening, candidate sourcing, and scheduling interviews. Virtual hiring. The entire process has accelerated the adoption of virtual hiring, technologies such as video interviews, virtual job fairs, and online assessment tools. And we're thrilled to have Javed Khan as our expert HR panel, who will be asking questions to the providers on behalf of all HR professionals who will be watching this in an on-demand format. We're highly delighted to host Javed Ashraf Khan, Director of Talent Acquisition and Global Mobility, KPMG Lower Gulf. To present the demos, we have Supratim from TalentRecruit and Raja from Hiresome. Over to you, Supratim.
Yeah, thanks, Vanshita, for the introduction. Thank you, everyone, for connect. I'm Supratim. I'm part of the sales and strategy team here at TalentRecruit. We started our operations in 2014, and since then we've done about 350 implementations. Our platform has been used to process 25 million candidates for over 1 million job positions, and currently over 25,000 plus recruiters across 19 countries are using the platform. TalentRecruit is the only recruitment platform in the world which has an end-to-end mobile application with complete feature parity between the desktop app and the mobile app. We also have extensive AI and ML capabilities in terms of candidate matching and candidate engagement, which has empowered our customers to improve their sourcing pipeline by 22%. I'll explain all of that over the course of the demo. And the conversation is moving away from just how can a platform enable recruitment teams to better manage their candidate pipelines to how can a platform also help empower recruiters to nurture and engage their candidate pipeline. So this is where TalentRecruit has been identified by Everest Group as part of their peak assessment report 2023 as one of the top 16 global candidate relationship management platforms. The other aspect of it is, of course, the user experience and UI for all stakeholders involved, be it the recruiters, the hiring managers, interview panelists, or candidates. TalentRecruit has been bombarded with accolades around the same. We've been identified as leaders by G2 in their fall 2023 report and champions by Software Suggest in their 2023 report. Again, fundamentally, the problem statement that we're trying to solve here is how do we empower recruiters to spend less time on operational activities and spend more time better engaging, nurturing their talent pipeline. So that is where that is where we've come up with TalentRecruit, and it's an end-to-end platform, right from sourcing all the way to onboarding. That entire piece can be taken care of by TalentRecruit. We have strong AI ML capabilities in the form of Erica, AI-powered robotic recruiter, which enables both sourcing, candidate reading and ranking, as well as candidate engagement, thereby improving the pipeline by 22%. And a combination of the AI capabilities and automation capabilities have enabled recruiters to spend more time with their candidates, which has allowed them to hire the right candidate at the right time and right cost. And as you can see, our customers have seen an overall hiring TAT reduction of about 45%. And this is just a small list of some of our customers. And as you can see here, fairly wide industry spread. This is also one of the core features and highlights of the platform. It is extremely configurable. We can map your processes, your approval hierarchies, your branding across the platform. It can be tailor-made to your requirements without the need of customization. It is all done through the front end through configuration and settings. So I'll end the presentation here and I'll move into the demo. So when you log into the platform, you're greeted by your dashboard. The recruiter dashboard essentially gives them a visibility of all their tasks, whether the jobs that they're working on, there's approvals pending, there's resume shortlisting pending, there's interview feedback pending. They'll have a complete visibility of all of that. They'll have a visibility of new candidates which have applied to various jobs, and the source mix of the same as well. They'll also have a visibility of the calendar, if there's any interviews, any hiring scheduled, if there's any jobs approaching their target closure date. And of course, there's a completely separate dashboard for the senior management. They'll get an overall picture of their recruitment pipeline and recruiter performance to make informed decisions. You have your executive snapshot, you have your time series information, you have your aging dashboard right here at the click of a button. To view. When we start the process, we start off by mapping your departments. This can be done by integrating with your HRMS. All your departments can be mapped, and the hiring team around the same can also be mapped here accordingly. You have the ability to create dedicated hiring teams for various departments or various regions or various functions, however you wish to structure those teams. And once your departments are mapped and your teams are created, then you have the ability to, of course, create jobs. So jobs are bifurcated status-wise. Within it's further bifurcated department-wise. You have your job card giving you very vital statistics about the job out of from a 30,000 feet view. So if the job is published or not, the priority, the hiring team, I can make changes to the hiring team here if necessary. I can see my overall pipeline in terms of candidates and sourcing, screening, submission, interview, offer, and hire stage. I'll very quickly create a job. When I'm creating a job, I can very simply just select and parse the JD from my system, and it will automatically parse the details using our ML-powered parser. As you can see here, the job-related details have been picked up by the platform. And once that is done, it actually gets stored as a template. So the next time around, I can simply clone from an existing template which I have. I can proceed ahead. I can align my hiring team over here. So who are the hiring managers, interview panelists, recruiters? I can add multiple recruiters. I can add multiple interview panelists. I can allocate work to vendors or agency partners. Now comes selecting a workflow. So your workflow is nothing but your recruitment process. You might have different processes for campus hiring versus lateral hiring. Within lateral, tech and non-tech might be different. Within that, further junior level, mid-level, senior level, the hiring processes could be completely different. You could have region-specific hiring processes as well. So all those processes can be mapped as workflows into the platform. And by doing so, you also have the ability to automate a lot of the tasks around it, including the candidate engagement, which is happening in an automated manner on the platform. You can define your rule-based job and offer approval hierarchies on the platform. And then you have the ability to decide which sources you want to publish the job to. Do you want to publish on your company website, on LinkedIn? LinkedIn job posting is completely free, along with employee referral or internal mobility as well. And once the job is created, it goes for approval. So I'm opening up the approver view. I'll be able to see all job-related information and approve, disapprove, or revise this particular job. Now, once the job has been created, of course, the system is generating notifications on the phone and on email to all stakeholders involved simultaneously. I can start working on it as a recruiter. Yeah, anyway, so once the job has been approved as a recruiter, I can start working on it. As I mentioned, you have the ability to allocate work to your vendors. You have the ability to open up a job for internal mobility and referral. So I will just show those sources here. 1 second. So you can have the company career page aligned on the platform. all the jobs can be posted here where candidates can apply directly to the job. So yeah, so like I was saying, you have the ability to post jobs on LinkedIn. As you can see here, all the jobs get posted for free. You have the ability to open up a job for internal mobility and referral. You have your employee dashboard over here. They can apply, they can see all the jobs where they can refer or apply candidates. They can see their status in the jobs that they've applied to, along with the referral history of candidates that they've referred. You also have the ability to post a job on your company career page directly from the platform. And of course, you have the ability to allocate work to your vendors. They will be able to see a dashboard, their dashboard around the same. They can refer candidates directly from here, and they'll also see the referral history of the candidates. Apart from that, you have several inbound sourcing capabilities as well. So you can enter the details manually. You can bulk upload resumes. You can source profiles and parse them directly from LinkedIn, Naukri, Foundit, and Shine, with several more other job boards coming in the pipeline. And of course, you can go into the database and do your advanced Boolean search and find candidates from there. But this is where we have a differentiator in the form of Erica. Erica has actually already gone into the database and automatically, using a combination of AI-powered analytical models, found contextually the best match candidates for me. I can simply select them and source them into the particular job. Not only that, since the database in a ATS is, a latent database, you have the Erica also has the ability to actually engage with candidates through personalized communication. It will reach out to them. It will follow up with them. It will respond to their queries, make them interested, and then pass them on to the recruiter. So while the recruiter is focused on the fresh set of profiles that he or she is sourcing or candidates are applying, Erica is able to create a parallel pipeline from the database that is getting created for the organization on TalentRecruit. Right. Now, I'll just very quickly move into a job where I already have a couple of set of candidates. So once my candidates are in the job, I can simply bulk process them. I can change the status. Let's say, for example, I want to initiate the screening stage, and that starts with phone screening. I can do that. The evaluation for the recruiter to fill out in the screening stage is been triggered for all the candidates. As a recruiter, I can fill in this evaluation. So you can capture all your evaluations across various stages directly on the platform. You also have the ability to integrate with any assessment platform or background verification platform where you want to do an online assessment or a coding challenge or a psychometric test. We have certain pre-integrations available on that front as well. I can simply now change the status after I find this candidate to be a great fit. I'll be doing a recruiter shortlist and then sending it out to the hiring manager. I can select what details I want to share about the candidate. So the resume, if I've collected any documents, the evaluation done by me as a recruiter, notes as to why I'm recommending this candidate, and I simply send it out to the hiring manager. They will be able to action on this under their pending tasks again. All the details which I just shared are visible to them. So the job for which they've been shortlisted, the resume, notes by the recruiter, the evaluation filled out by the recruiter, all of that is visible for the hiring manager to make an informed decision. I can shortlist the candidate. Once that is done, again, recruiter will be notified. And I can initiate the interview process directly from the platform itself. Go into interviews, add an interview from here. I can select the interview round. It can be single panel or multi-panel. I can select the panelist. We can have a Google Maps location in case of face-to-face, or if it's online, it can be Teams, Zoom, Google Meets, whatever the organization is currently leveraging. Select the duration and send out an invite according to the availability of the interview panelist. Yes, and I can, as a recruiter, also reschedule this or cancel this. Interview panelists will be able to see all the interviews that are planned against them. They can also cancel and reschedule from here, and they can fill in the evaluation which is tagged to them. You can create bespoke evaluations for each and every round on the platform. And like I said, if you want an in-between stage where an assessment needs to be triggered, online assessment, that can also be done. And then obviously the interview panelists can do a shortlist or reject. Once that is done, as a recruiter, again, based on the notifications, I can start actioning on this candidate. I can obviously schedule multiple rounds of interviews. In this case, I'll jump to selection. I want to congratulate the candidate. I want to let them know about their status. I maybe want to collect certain documents from them. So now I'm going to switch gears and move into the candidate view. So your candidate is getting real-time updates about their status, including submission to hiring manager, shortlisting, selection mail. We can even collect documents from them during as part of the pre-boarding process for offer creation. We maybe want to collect certain documents from them. That all can be collected directly from the platform. And once that is done, I can simply go into the candidate. I can create an offer and I can start the onboarding process. I'll sort of not showcase that right now because of the paucity of time. What I want to emphasize the last minute on is the reports. So all of the reports on the platform are getting generated using Power BI. And you can drill down very deeply into the data and gain insights, further insights from this. So I'm opening up a consolidated user report right now. You have, the structure is a parent and child report. The parent report gives you the overall visibility, whereas the child reports give you more granular information. So this is my recruiter report. I can filter this information for department-wise, region-wise, timeline specific, practice-wise. I can get all those filters incorporated and drill down into this information. Now, let's say I can see in the first parent report, I have a source-wise breakdown, whereas the child report has a sub-stage-wise breakdown. So interview might have multiple rounds, screening might have multiple rounds, right? So all of that sub-stage level breakdown is shown over here. And then the second child report shows you the actual candidate information. So for example, I want to see who are these 293 candidates who are in the candidate pool stage that Alok is managing. I simply click over here and all that candidate information is visible to me in this one single view. Similarly, you have aging reports, sourcing reports, multiple reports available on the platform with many more reports getting added with each new update. And we also have the ability to incorporate custom reports. And just to switch gears once more at the very end, you also, of course, the platform is completely mobile native. I'm changing to inspect view, so it automatically converts to mobile view. I can create my departments. I can align. I can start working on various jobs. I can change. I can add. I can source more candidates. I can change their status. I can schedule interviews. I can release offers directly from the platform. And not only that, the platform, even the settings and configurations on the platform can be done directly through the mobile app. There's native apps available both for Android as well as iOS. So yeah, with that, I'll conclude my presentation. Thank you once again for the hrtech forum for organizing this. And yeah, over to you, Vanshita.
Thank you, Supratim, for that insightful demo. Over to you, Javed, for your question.
Thank you so much, Vanshita. A couple of questions, Supratim. Some are yes and no answers, and we'll keep it to that, just keeping in mind the time that we have. But I also have a few questions which I wanted to check, right? One is when you said mapping, right? Mapping the departments and everything. This is part of your implementation. TalentRecruit will take care of that, right? Okay, just that yes and no from there. And when you said end-to-end mobile, you basically can do all of the work that you showed on your user experience on your laptop right now can be done on your mobile as well.
Absolutely, yes.
Okay, and now let's come to the job posting, right? And you said job posting is free on LinkedIn. How
Yes.
does that work? Shouldn't the organization sign up for job wrapping, or have you folks signed up for job wrapping automatically with LinkedIn?
So I have my colleague Aditya here who would be able to throw some insight into this.
Sure.
Hi everyone. This is Aditya from TalentRecruit team. So So Javed, basically we have an integration with LinkedIn, which empowers us to present the jobs that organizations have. We just require their consent in terms of the CEO ID, and then we'll be able to wrap the jobs.
So you signed up for job wrapping, which is that's something that with LinkedIn. So anything goes on TalentRecruit automatically gets onto LinkedIn.
With the
Amazing.
respective organizations LinkedIn.
Agreed. Absolutely agree. Now, Supratim, in your database, you mentioned, Erica taking care of going through a few things and job matching it and giving you some profiles, right? You mentioned database. What database are you talking about?
So on any ATS, Javed, all candidates which are who are applying or getting sourced by the recruiters get stored as a database under the candidate database module on any ATS for that particular organization. So that's your
organization.
Yes. Okay. So it's a latent talent pool that any organization will have. Erica helps organizations leverage that.
Not necessarily that so what my question was is, so because TalentRecruit is doing this for so many organizations,
yes,
you don't have a candidate database. This candidate database that Erica is working on is your own organization's ATS database and whatever we have in the past and so on and so forth, correct?
Yes, absolutely. Because other organizations wouldn't want to expose their database to anybody else.
I hear you. I just wanted to double check on that part of it. Now, apart from the entire demo that I looked at right now, Erica just came and helped me in the possible shortlisting of resumes or possible candidates or potential candidates for a certain job that you were working on the demo.
Yes.
That's the only where I saw Erica. But where else can Erica be used? So maybe you missed on the demo because of the timing, but I wanted to see Erica much more than just in that potential aspect of shortlisting resumes.
Sure. So after shortlisting, I also very briefly showed that Erica, because it's a latent pipeline, right? Talent pipeline, which is in the database, right? You don't know if they're actively looking for opportunities or not. Correct. So that's where Erica's communication capabilities come into the picture, where we have integrations with GPT, and Erica reaches out to this set of candidates, follows up with them, and responds to their queries and makes them interested, and then passes it on to the recruiters. So Erica is creating a parallel pipeline till the time the candidate is interested, while the recruiter is focusing on a fresh set of profiles.
Got it. And Erica can also create a job for me, which can keep my candidates warm, not just for a current role, but can also be worked on a passive. It can also act as a CRM, correct?
Aditya, maybe you can shed some light on this.
Javed, if you can maybe elaborate on that question.
So for example, Aditya, I have say, for example, 5-6 candidates who applied for a job, right? And these 5-6 candidates are my top, and I don't have a job that I want to offer them right now, or I don't have a role that I can, but I want to put them in a certain requisition or a certain place where Erica or any of the other aspect of it, which basically helps me keep in touch with them for the next 3 months by sending them what's happening in my company, what's going on, what's really keeping in. And when the job is ready, I basically want to bring them. So this is mostly keeping my database active in one way, selected set of people at least.
Fair enough. So that engagement aspect is different, which you can leverage on the platform. You have options on the platform using tagging of creating the candidate communities, talent communities of talent pools, which you can leverage on the platform. Okay. Erica will typically be leveraged specific to a job because, as you can understand, it is giving you matching and similar profiles aligned with it.
Got it. Perfect. My last question, and I'll just check with Vanshita after that on how we're doing on time. You went through an interview panel by selecting the name of the panels and the candidates and the timing and so on and so forth. And you then said we can send out the meeting invites and so on and so forth. How does the interview panel availability bake into this? Now, for example, Javed as a panel, Aditya as a second panel might have 2 different times. How do we marry this together through the platform?
Yeah. So just to give you a quick understanding, we also will, due to the, I think, paucity of time, we did not dive into that aspect, but we also have an automated interview scheduler, which will sort of come into place, which will take into the consideration of the time slots of the panelists, reach out to them, get those time slots available so that the platform itself can give the visibility to the candidates with regards to the time slots that are available, combined time slots, and the person can make the candidate can make a choice, and accordingly the platform will then possibly engage with the candidate pool, with the panel, and schedule the interview accordingly.
Aditya, honest answer. This interview is scheduling and all of that. is a very human aspect to the entire process of recruiting, right? We have to convince and all of that. Use cases from your previous experiences of implementing that in various organizations.
Sure.
What has gone wrong? Like, for example, is it that, sometimes the invites have been sent, candidate didn't see it, interview panel didn't see it? What is the best practice to make sure we use this in the right format?
So what we've done is we've implemented automated reminders so that in case if the emails are being missed out either by the panel or by the candidates, so they can get the reminders on a regular basis. Over and above that, we've given controls to the scheduler, like the recruitment team, so that in case if they feel the information is not there, they can step in and set up the schedule manually as well.
Very
so
clear.
if you feel at any point of time the responses are not received, either if there is a delay from the candidate end or from the panel end, they can step in and they can manually take it.
Got it. Very, very clear. Thank you so much. Vanshita, can I have one more question? Do we have time or should we rush?
You can go ahead, Javed.
Okay, thank you so much, Vanshita. Last question, and again, this one is that dashboard that I saw. I really liked it because it kind of gives me, view of what I'm looking at. Can I automate? I mean, not automate it. Can I make sure that I do a little bit of tailoring on it, which I mean saying when I log in the morning, it says, dear recruiter, you have 5 interviews happening today. You have 2 offers to go out. You need to get these approvals chased on. Some kind of and task board or a kind of a dashboard that I'm looking for, which basically look at rather than looking at my Outlook, this, and 5 other things, and then coming back to this. Can I make this all one way of looking at what I have to do today as a recruiter?
So, Javed, I think that is something that we will be sort of presenting going forward. Right now, what you've done is we've brought in a dashboard to give you a quick view in terms of what is an actionable item for us. It's also part of the product pipeline in order to make it available going forward in terms of picking and choosing what's critical.
Thank you so much. I saw one question on the chat room, and I'm going to ask that on behalf of Narendra. When Erica is doing a possible shortlisting for my certain job rec, right? Like we did for the audit manager or senior auditor that we were working on. Say, for example, I want to put in a salary range because there are organizations which tells me, Javed, you have only this budget. So can Erica also look at shortlisting this, not just on a parameter of what we put in the job description, but can add a few more filters like job, location, so on and so forth?
Yes, I think because of this paucity of time, you may not have been able to see, but in the Erica recommendation screen itself, where the recommendations are visible to the recruiter, there are filtration processes available on the left-hand side, wherein you can choose the education, experience ranges, salary ranges, within maybe internal input that you've given. So those parameters and fields are also available for you. So you can refine the results what Erica has given to you.
Perfect. Candidate also has a similar user experience, or they're just looking at emails, and what can they also download TalentRecruit to manage whatever they're doing, or is just emails for the candidate?
Currently, what you've done is we've set it up from an email perspective as well. We'll also be having the WhatsApp engagement also being done through the platform. But as an interface, they won't have an app as of now.
Got it. Thank you very much. That's all my questions, guys. I really liked it. Thank you very much. I mean, I really like what I saw. I think there's a lot of thought gone behind into them. And I really, when Supratim said end to end, I really had my ears all open. I wanted to really see an end to end thing, right? But I think you guys delivered. Thank you so much. I think that's good demo. Thank you very much, please.
Thanks, Javed. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Supratim. Thank you, Javed, and thank you, Adit. Thank you. Over to you, Raja, for your demo.
Just to give you a brief about us quickly. So we started out back in 2014. And initially working with the financial services space, we also pivoted the platform in 2018 to bring in more automation to integrate video CVs and assessments as one of our core functionalities. So that's where Hiresome helps companies organize their sourcing, their screening, onboarding, reporting by automating redundant workflows and creating tailored dashboards for them. So that's where the platform integrates an intuitive ATS, video CVs, data parsing, recruiting, screening, syncing up job boards, LinkedIn, assessments that are proctored, tests, offer letters, entirety of onboarding from salary dashboards to issuing the welcome kit to candidates, conducting interviews, referrals, MIS chat, all of that works through the platform. Besides the regular features of, say, assessments or video CVs or ADS, How we distinguish is the ATS itself is standalone and scalable for companies. One can add many sub-users, team members. It's integrated with different HR apps. We also create a custom career page for companies. So one of the key features where we tailor the ATS for companies is we highly customize. So while a standard exists, we also automate each step to reduce any redundancy for our clients. We integrate their own HR apps onto the system. The feedback mechanism in the interviews, it helps make hiring much more inclusive across various stakeholders at client teams. There is no hassle of ATS signups or logins. With simple links, the team members can log in, punch in their feedback. All of that gets reflected onto the ATS. In terms of the assessment framework, it's proctored with the anti-cheating tools, and companies also have an option to create their own tests, create different batches of assessments, as well as deliver like real-time scorecards and evaluation for candidates. On video CVs, that is where we did a lot of work back in during the pandemic months. We currently have some of the biggest insurance finance BFSI companies leveraging this very feature. That's where it helps companies to crack through the tier 2, tier 3, tier 4, tier 5 markets in India. It lends more credibility to the entire hiring process. It also enables candidates to really qualify for themselves as to why is it that they must be hired. So as against generic interviews, these are more pointed questions. The response to these questions is what gets stitched into one single video resume for candidates. It's discreet, it's confidential. Only the employer for which it is meant is able to watch and view these videos. And this is what allows also candidates to dissolve their inhibitions and really put their best foot forward. In terms of HR ops, these are very simple tools through which we help customize, automate the entire of onboarding. And it's collaborative with different colleagues. Everything gets captured, factored into a report. So these are exhaustive reports on each aspect of your hiring cycle to optimize operations, to remove bottlenecks, appraise your team members, evaluate their performances, and definitely make more informed hiring decisions. So with that background, we'd love to show you the platform quickly and also show you the utility of assessments and video CVs, which is a core feature of the platform. My colleague Raja here, in fact, he just helped take us through.
Thanks, Umang. As soon as you log in on Hiresome, you have your instance right here. And to get started, we map your entire organization onto the platform. We invite all of your team members, join the platform. So once we have your hierarchy mapped out, we know who the hiring manager is, who is the recruiter, who is the admin, and you assign these roles yourself. You can assign them various permissions as to what they can do on the platform. So you can invite vendors, you can invite interviewers, and you can assign them different permissions. Based on the permissions, they will have access to the data that is shared on the platform. Now, as soon as you have your hierarchy mapped out, you can start configuring your platform. So inside settings, you can configure the entire platform. You can have your own nomenclature. You can have your own forms, be it the job post form, be it your hiring pipeline, be it your interview form or your offer form. With the configuration in place and the career page in place, you start your recruitment journey, and it starts with posting a job. When it comes to posting a job, again, the form is customizable. You can add more fields to it. And lastly, you can add video CV questions. So when you're posting a job post, you can customize the chatbot. There's a chatbot that asks the candidates the questions that you require for a particular candidate to apply for the role. So for example, this role requires a candidate to submit their current location. It requires them to submit their video CV, their expected CTC. You can remove the ones which are not required for this particular role. If it is the video CV that you're asking the candidates to record, the system would ask them certain questions. These are behavioral questions that are pre-programmed into the system. You can also type your own questions, and the system would prompt these questions when the candidate is applying through the video CV mechanism. There's also an audio CV feature wherein the questions remain the same, but the video is not used. Instead, they just record an audio CV. You can also assign a feedback form to this job post, and you can also assign people who will be working on this particular role. And you can also choose the visibility of this role, whether this role is active right now, whether it's public on your careers page, or it's featured at the top, and whether it allows referrals to be made to this particular role. You can also map your BUs and other tags to the particular job post. And once it's published, the job post is live on your instance. If you've decided to make it live on your career page, it goes there as well. We have integration with LinkedIn. So the job post, when it goes live, all of your recruiters that are tagged onto the job post inside the integrations menu, if they have enabled their LinkedIn integration, they would also be sharing the job post automatically through their LinkedIn share feed. Now, when it comes to job posting, the process is very simple. The candidates, they can be uploaded through various ways. You can add a candidate directly through this form, which is again customizable. You can bulk upload candidates through Excel sheets, through PDF, through Word docs. You can allow referrals for a particular job post. Or the candidates, they can come in through their own violation. So the system would have a careers page wherein the candidates can come in and they can apply. And if you have shared the link on your LinkedIn, or if you've shared the link elsewhere, the candidate can use that link and can apply on the page. When they're applying, the chatbot that you had programmed, it will ask the same questions to the candidate, like what's your current location, what's your current CTC and all. And you can track their status right here, who has been added, who has been shortlisted, who has applied, who is still currently applying. And if need be, you can invite a pool of candidate to apply for this role. So for example, if I have uploaded certain profiles onto this role, I can invite them directly to apply for this role. Now, to kick off the hiring journey, usually the recruiters, they share these profiles directly with the hiring managers. And that's the first round of screening that they do. So on Hiresome, we have kept one thing in mind, that the managers and the interviewers, they really don't like to navigate through a lot of platforms. They are email bound, and we've kept it that way for them. So for example, if I want feedback for these 3 candidates, instead of sharing it on the platform, I share it via email. This allows me to share the profiles without having to invite my manager onto the platform, without having them log into the platform. I can select the feedback form and I can click share profiles. Once you share the profiles, the profiles would be sent directly to your inbox. Okay, I will share this feedback request later on. I can't find the email yet. Yeah, so once the feedback is in place, all you need to do is submit the feedback. So this is what the feedback form looks like. So the manager, they would see the profile name, and they would see the job title, and they would see the candidate's name. There can be multiple candidates right here. And when they click on view profiles, they don't have to sign up anywhere. Instead, they can just view the profile directly from their email. They can view the documents, they can view the resume. These are time-bound links. That means that these links, they have an expiration set, so they can only access that data for a certain amount of time. Now, once I submit my feedback, my recruiter would be notified, and I can also directly trigger their stage change from the verdict. So if I shortlist them here, their stage would change on the ATS as well. And all of this has happened without me having to change my my system. I did that from my email. Now, the system would trigger in automations as soon as the candidate is shortlisted. They would move into the right stage, and the recruiter would be notified. And then recruiter can take them through the next round of interviews. So to schedule interviews, we have Outlook integration, we have Google integration. You can have your MS Teams and your Meet integration in place. And again, for the interviewers, they don't need to have an account on Hiresome. Instead, you can share a feedback form directly with them through the platform, and the same mechanism kicks in. The mechanism that was there for the hiring managers. The profiles are shared over email, and they can view the profiles, and they can submit their feedbacks from their email. So you can repeat this cycle for n number of interviews. So L1 round, L2 round, and L3 round. And finally, you can take the candidate through the offer draft stage. For the offer stage, the offer process is very similar to your own organization because it is customized for your organization. You can have your own stages. You can have your own forms. I'll just fill out the basic details. These are my offer details. I would fill them out. Now for approvals, I can invite my managers and other approvers. I can seek their approval or I can notify them about this offer letter. And once I send in the approval request, they are required to submit their approval on the platform. I can, as a recruiter, override the offer approval process, but that will notify all the stakeholders. I can also select salary brackets. So I can create salary brackets in my settings and I can use them here. The salary brackets, they just require me to enter my CTC and rest of the fields are automatically calculated. So all of this is configured right here using basic maths and basic algorithms that you can configure yourself. Lastly, we have offer template, wherein once you select the offer template, the system fills in all the required details like the candidate's job title, their company name, their salary breakup, their date of joining. So this PDF document is created on the fly for the candidate. So this is the offer letter that is shared. They receive an offer letter, they receive a salary breakup, they receive some temporary documents. I'll showcase an example of what particular offer letter looks like. Just give me one sec. So this is what an offer letter looks like. This is an email, and you have the company logo right here, the candidate's name. They can accept the offer, they can reject the offer. This is a forwarded email, so that's why it's slightly out of place. And this is the offer letter that was generated. All the relevant details have been changed. This is a salary bracket that got generated, and these are the documents that were shared as part of the offer letter as welcome onboarding kit. Now moving back to the offer letter and the platform. Once you have the candidate onboarded, they're considered as hired, and your team can then view these analytics inside their reports. So we have customized reports. We do heavy customizations on the report front. With each of our clients, we work very closely and we build reports for them. So system comes with a lot of reports inbuilt, like the applicant's report, candidate's report, there's a job report, there's a functional area report, BU report, and your recruiter performance report. And using these reports, you can set up the filters and the columns that you would want to see for this particular report. So each report has its own set of filters and set of columns that you can configure. And once you have the configuration in place and you have your desired default time period and everything in place, this is what a report looks like. For each one of your users, you can see how many jobs they're working on. So this is a user performance report. That means I can see as a manager what my recruiters are working on and how many interviews they scheduled, how many offers they created, how many offers got accepted through them, what was their last activity. So before we dive into automation, I would like to showcase the video CV solution from the candidate's perspective. So once you shoot an email to the candidate, it can be automated or it's part of your onboarding journey. The candidate, they receive a notification, or when they choose to apply on the careers page, they are greeted by the chatbot. And the chatbot asks the same questions that you have programmed it to ask. And we offer the candidates a sample video CV that showcases what a video CV should be and what it should entail. Now, the video CV recording process is very straightforward. The chatbot asks a few questions, and for each question, you record an answer. You have a stipulated time window within which you have to complete the answer. There's a minimum and a maximum limit. And once you submit your application, the system stitches all of your 3 videos together. I'll play a few video CVs for you so you get a first-hand taste of what a video CV looks like.
I want to pursue my career in marketing analytics. Now, before one must move on to marketing, they must understand sales. I have worked on a short-term project in Tenhard, a subscription-based service where I was required to contact people to sell subscriptions. Thus, I feel understanding who will benefit most from the product you're selling and then approaching them is the most appropriate method.
During my graduation years, I participated in various academic projects, social projects, as well as numerous cultural activities. I describe myself as a go-getter. Leaving no stone unturned is my way of life.
Yeah. So these were some video CVs that we had. And lastly, when it comes to the automation part, you can automate all of your workflow from the platform. So you can have various triggers that take place on the platform, like candidate is added, candidate status changes, and a job status changes. And basis that, you can have conditions whether the stage that has been changed is screening pending or screening hold. And basis that, you can have an action, whether you want to notify the candidate, whether you want to notify someone else, whether you want to share a particular link to them. So there are various automations that you can have that will automate your entire hiring workflow. There are other KPIs that you can have in the analytics section. There are KPIs as well that you can have that will allow you to track your funnels and your turnaround times. And lastly, you can configure that all in your dashboard. So you can have, so each user have their own dashboards on the platform. There's no one short solution for everyone. Instead, you can choose the reports and KPIs that matter to you. That is it from the platform perspective. We can take questions.
Thank you, Raja and Sumant. Over to you, Javed, for your Q&A.
Thank you, Vanshita. I want to start with one basic question, right? Now, if you walk into a room with me and you're doing this before you start the presentation, Raja and everybody from Hiresome, if you have to say the problem statement that you're solving is what? Is it we're solving the problem of your screening, sourcing? Which part of the problem are we trying to solve is going to be something that you need Hiresome for? What would be your answer for that?
Yep. In fact, most of our clients, in fact, are companies which are digitizing for the first time. These are mostly ID services companies. These are BFSI companies. These are consumer companies, edtech companies here in India. And all of them have been used to managing their data offline and conducting tests mostly by commissioning other testing services and companies. So I think that's when, if they want to secure all of this in-house, that's where we help these companies really bring in an ATS and streamline the entirety of talent acquisition, right from sourcing to screening to recruiting, conducting assessments. That's something which you could not show today, but also integrating their careers page, creating a consolidated repository for them, and helping them manage their overall hiring. So yeah.
Got it. Cultural nuances, the reason I'm saying that is in this part of the world, at least from where I am, I have a Saudi, I have a Dubai, I have Qatar, and so on and so forth. There are going to be cultural nuances which are going to be different in this part of the world in terms of video screening or video recording. And it's not that they don't do it, it's going to be very different. So for example, if there's a choice between, can I do a choice between video and an audio recording and send that across? And is the tool capable enough for understanding, like, for example, is there some kind of an help that I can get? For example, if I'm looking at you and talking, then I know I'm not reading or I'm not looking here and there. I want to be able to see if there is genuinity in that video recording. Is there been too many cuts, too many editing, and so on and so forth? How do we manage those things? Is there something that can get better at those things?
Yeah, of course. In fact, that is something which we started out back in 2018. And back then, India was still, I think, breaking the ice with just the video consumption, culture.
Right.
The appetite is still changing. Of course, now people are more friendly, more savvy with videos as such. But I think how we enable companies, and that's where I think one of our core customer base is consumer market-facing insurance outfits, is where, like, candidates, basically, they can also, like, we didn't get a chance to show from a candidate side, but they can also maybe write down some key points that they want to speak about. The idea is that when you watch someone, like within 10 seconds, you intuitively get a sense that this is the person I want to take forward. And that's what lends more authenticity, credibility to their backgrounds. And that is the core idea, especially where volume is a game. That's where video CVs can quickly help you really shortlist, say, the top 10% that matter. We also have standard oceans model AI in place that companies do use, which is to get an indicative sense of the candidate's soft skills, their integrity, how, like, there are some basic set parameters. So those are the tools which also enables them to really discern, say, the top 10% of the entire applicant base. So I think that's the idea, especially in tier 2, tier 3 cities, where, a single page document does not suffice. Every second resume looks the same, appears the same. But the moment you watch someone, I think you're able to validate your opinions about them. So yeah.
And see, on the other side of that spectrum, right? I mean, one way you're looking at answering that on one side of the spectrum, but I'm going to push you onto the other side of the spectrum. As humans, we have our biases, unconscious, all those biases that come into picture right now. Now, when that video comes in and I don't like the face of a candidate, then I'm going to be able to go ahead and reject it. So is the tool going to help me top 5, top 6, rank my best 5, 6 videos that have come in to help the recruiter to say, don't get biased by the looks of the candidates or the school that they're coming from or the skin color and so on and so forth. But this is what the candidate is all about. So is there some kind of a ranking mechanism behind the whole process?
Yeah. In fact, we've built a scoring mechanism to that effect. And in fact, companies also do understand here that video CVs is just to supplement their overall understanding of a candidate. It does not substitute for, say, a live two-way interview.
Okay.
Where you kind of understand the candidate more in depth, but it is just to substantiate, your understanding, especially for preliminary screening. Right. It's a substitution to telephonic rounds where
Correct.
through audio CVs, video CVs, a candidate also gets time to muster their thoughts, prepare their answers. It's also a reflection of their sincerity and also how earnest they are about a certain job. Okay. So a lot of candidates just indiscriminately apply for jobs. This is the biggest problem, especially in developing markets, where for one single job, you have 3,000 applicants. How do you begin? So that's
the same issue.
Yeah, that's where I think audio CV, video CV is a very wonderful substitution, because ones who are genuinely keen will make time. And that's we have created the system so nimble, so straightforward that they don't have to really sign up, log in, punch in 10,000 details, but they can just follow a link, record their answers and submit. And especially across like smaller non-metro cities as well, besides the metro cities, it has really helped employers to understand the genuinity of the candidate. I think when you hear someone, see someone, within 5 seconds, this is the person. So of course, why the scoring mechanism is in place to help you make up your mind better. But I think just watching someone quickly also is a quick check. Of course, this is no substitution to the main regular hiring. It's just to complement those decision-making. Yeah.
Got it. Absolutely. Last thing, I mean, more a suggestion, not a question. The dashboards and the reports, if we can get infographic, that would be really helpful, because I don't want to be then taking out the export of Excels and spending time on graphing them out and putting it onto my PowerPoint. I would love to definitely take the graphics that you have and then putting it onto my chart and then sending it out to whoever I want to do that. That's more a suggestion from a senior leader, because the amount of time I spend on slides, if I'm using Hiresome, then I would at least want to reduce a little bit of a time from myself. One use case I wanted to share with you, right? There's a large organization here, and I'm sure we all flown in one of their aircrafts in our lives. They use one of these mechanisms on video interviewing. They have 3 things. One is they interview pretty much everybody from ground staff to cabin crew to everybody on the videos. And they basically say yes, no, maybe. The recruiters are only looking at a maybe and then seeing if they want to qualify that candidate further. That's the kind of work that's happening in the industry. So that ranking mechanism is going to be the game changer, because that's the trust any organization will put with you, saying yes, no is clear. We don't even have to worry about it. The maybes is where I want my recruiter to spend my time on, and that's where your worth comes in to help me out. So just that, right? So thank you so much, guys. I really like what I saw. I'm thinking definitely a problem solver in terms of having 2,000, 4,000 applicants is humongous for a recruiter. The recruiter will feel empowered by having Hiresome to help them shortlist a few candidates through the process that you've shown. So thank you very much.
Yeah, of course, there's much more we would love to show, but I think in the positive.
No, I understand. Absolutely. 100%.
And in fact, in rating mechanism, I think all of that to that end is integrated, especially hold, go, no go, scoring, or just a simple like a verdict or yes, no types. And I think we've built everything organically in response to the feedback we received from our existing clients, which are some of India's biggest staffing companies,
Right.
IT services companies, facility management, edtech companies, and BFSI companies. So I think we're also still evolving. I would not say that we are really one-stop solution, but I think through the feedback, criticism, as well as responses we received, we've actually really tailored the platform to make it like a good fit for them. So customization support, this is our greatest strength, besides, of course, the ATS, which I think like covers the
Amazing. Awesome. Thank you very much, folks.
Thank you for the opportunity. Many thanks. Yeah.
Thank
Vanshita,
you.
back to you.
Yes, thank you, Javed. Coming to an end of the demo, our October 2023 edition, where we showcase future of talent acquisition and the emerging tools to watch out for. I'd like to thank Javed for his time and effort and for accepting our invite to be a part of the expert HR panel. I thank the entire team of Hiresome and TalentRecruit for accepting our invite and showcasing their high-tech solutions. Extending heartfelt gratitude to all the team from RChilli for always supporting us, Paramdeep, Athilesh, and lastly, for all the participants who have joined in. Thank you, everybody, and we'd love to host you soon.
Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, everyone.
Thank you, Javed.